Hi, Dave Yoon from Seriously Connected, and this is going to be, without doubt, my favourite video of the week. But I wanted to talk to you about how I would build great content to my audience if I was building an independent recruitment business nowadays, my personal brand, and how I could reach out to the audience in a way that adds value. I'm going to talk to you about what I would do, and at the end I've got a quiz, and it involves an Easter egg. Before we get to that though, personal branding is easy to do, and if you're an expert recruiter or you're a specialist recruiter, you want to be able to demonstrate value to your audience. Whether this is automotive, FMCG, financial services, in the hospitality sector, I would look at ways of building attractive content to the people that people are going to listen to. If I'm in financial accounts, for instance, I may build up, like I said in the last video, a sequence of opt-ins or trying to give something of value to that world. And then I'd get them on a newsletter and ask them a financial accounting question, or I'd ask them the difference with a P&L, or I'd ask them where I would put this number to complete this debit credit reconciliation. A little bit of fun that those people like to do. And if I was operating within a hospitality space, for instance, I would go to all the hotels, I would go to all the restaurants, and I would sit and I would have a meal in all of those as part of my video content and share with those people. And if you get it right, you might be able to claim back on expenses. But then you've got automotive. What would you do in the automotive? Oh my Lord, there's loads you could do. You can go and test drive cars. You could go and look at winter tyres versus summer tyres. You could look at the price of fuel, look at the fuel charge in London at the moment with the diesel and everything that's going on. And I will be talking about all the changes in that space. You know, the new cars, just, you know, throughout the course of the year, you get new cars, you get new registrations. I will be talking about that subject because if you're in the automotive space, it shows you care about what you're doing, where you're doing it, and how you're doing it. So for me, I'm going to talk about what I would do. And I would have a bit of fun around food, because I generally used to deal within the packaging machinery space. And the more I think about this, I might start doing this again because it looks like great fun. But what I'm thinking is, quite simply, if I'm working with the likes of the Schuberts, the Bosches, the Aishidas of this world to demonstrate my authority in that space, I'm going to talk about the product. I'm going to talk about how it works. I would talk about how metal detection may work. I would talk about the way maybe you would get X-ray and where it would fall into the product. You know, a question I would ask you about where the X-ray would come on for contamination in a bottle of water, and it would come at the top 2 inches. I bet you didn't know that. But I would talk about, for instance, how we pack food. First of all, complaint to all supermarkets out there, I think there is an absolute conspiracy where Midget Gems are concerned. I have no idea what's going on, but Midget Gems seem to be disappearing fast. And I think we should put up a little bit of a campaign to bring back the Midget Gems, because I can't find many anywhere. But the good news is sports mixtures. So we've got sports mixtures back. So I want to talk today about how sports mixtures with all the multiple colours are actually packaged. And I'll tell you now. Can't get in. Right, so I've opened it, I can't get into the back. But what I've got here, oh, that's just wrecked the package. But what I've got here, as you will see, is multiple coloured sweets. How do you think they get in there? I would be wanting to talk to people about how they would get in there. Because if you think about the process of packing a pack of crisps, for instance, it's exactly the same product, it's exactly the same packaging, and yet it's packed in a completely same way with different sort of quality, different ingredients. Doritos are my favourite. I'm gluten-free, so I can eat Doritos, which is pretty good. But if you'll see in here, can you see? In there are just Doritos, all one flavour, all one colour. And they come into this bag, and it's made by what's known as a multi-head weigher into a vertical form and feel and sealed. Now, if you look at the way that this pack is filmed and sealed, I would be testing Golden Wonder versus Walkers. Who's got the best seal? Who's got the best weight? Who's got the best kind of quality crisps? But I just want to talk about how these products get in. And what I would say is, let's test the red ones. They come from a multi-head weigher. And a multi-head weigher is a hopper that comes around and round, and in there are multiple different colours that drop in at different speeds and different in weights and ingredients, so you get the mixture that you like. I always like the red ones, but most of the time, the red ones, I get the same quantity as all the other colours, purely and simply because the multi-head weigher distributes that product accordingly. But then it drops in and it's sealed. It's sealed in a way that the seal at the bottom, the seal at the back, the product is dropped in, then the top is sealed, and then it drops down and wings along the conveyor, and actually makes into the bag. You make the crisp and it goes into the bag. Now that for me is super exciting, and I would be talking if I was working on a service role or a sales position or a key account manager, but I would be talking about the product and the differentiation between those products. So let's talk about Jammie Dodgers. Jammie Dodgers to me are one of the greatest biscuits ever made. And then there's the conundrum around Jaffa cakes. Are Jaffa cakes a biscuit or are Jaffa cakes a cake? But interestingly, they're packed in the same way in reverse. Let me show you. I'm going to open these here. Open the side. This is a carton, a formed, shaped. Now McVitie's, I believe, are in-house over in Manchester for the likes of Blueprint, and maybe there's some Schubert products in there. Very, very high speed automation products. But they pack, and this cardboard box is what's called secondary packaging. Get into the good stuff. This is the primary packaging. Now this is exactly the same as a bag of crisps in theory. It's sealed at the side, it's sealed at the bottom, and then it's sealed at the top. But they don't drop into this pack. They come down exactly the same way, horizontally. So it moves along the pack. And it moves along the pack and it gets stacked up and it gets sealed at the end, sealed across the top and sealed at the bottom. And then it slides into this box as how it's moved into this box. And then it moves into this space, secondary packaging. Primary, secondary. But then we get to Jammie Dodgers. Again, sealed at one end, sealed at the other end, sealed at this end. But the wrapper is on the outside when the wrapper is on the inside. Cardboard box on the outside. Guess where I'm going with this? Yes, we are going to eat these later. Primary packaging. This is the first sleeve, so the cardboard piece goes in first. And then it goes into the horizontal form, fill and seal. And it moves through the product. Now, if I was building an independent recruitment business, or if I was looking at building my personal branding, I would want to know how this works, where the speeds come from, how they are actually organised. Are they suction fed? Are they dropped in? This kind of thing you can share with your audience in a very simple way. So here's my question for you. I'd like to know, Easter, Rolos, find your Rolo inside. I'm not interested in that right now, this minute, but this is a box. Very simply formed, but as you get to it, let's just get into it. Can't get into the box. I would like to know if anybody can tell me how this foil is wrapped around these round Easter eggs before they move into the secondary packaging, the carton form shaped product. How do you get Cadbury's mini eggs and Easter eggs wrapped up in silver and gold foil? Answers on a postcard, drop me a line, but this is the kind of content I would be sharing just for fun to my audience, which proves I know what I'm talking about from packaging. What do you think?